What's up, guys? It's Max, owner of Max's Best Bootcamp, and today we're talking about the Whole30 diet, the benefits, and also reasons why you may fail. We're also going to be taking some Q&A. This is a totally live, unedited broadcast, and I'm honored to have my buddy Omar on the show with us today. He's just finished the Whole30 diet, and so he's going to be telling us about his real-life experiences, and it'll be very helpful, hopefully, to you. What's up, Omar? How are you?
How's it going, Max? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you on the show. Omar and I, just quick background, we connected on Instagram, and on Instagram, you guys should check him out. He kind of has like a blog style that he does, and it's fantastic. Snickers and Chippers. And so find him there. Links will be down in the description. But let's get right into this, you guys. The top 3 benefits of the Whole30, starting with number 1, weight loss, hands down. Omar experienced it, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about, exactly his experience. And then I can tell you through many of my clients who have gone through the Whole30 challenge, they did have some great weight loss if they made it through the Whole30. So we'll talk about some of the challenges later, but the first 3 things we want to go over are the benefits. Number 1, weight loss. Omar, how did you lose some pounds on the Whole30?
Oh, absolutely. It was life-changing. This whole program or diet, if you will, it's incredible. I lost 18 pounds during my...
I got to stop you there because, you guys maybe can't tell from him sitting down right now, but he was not, no way you would look at him and say this guy's overweight, like obese. He's actually a naturally pretty lean guy, but for him to lose 18 pounds in a month is not normal results, especially for his frame. And so that's pretty amazing. And that had some other consequences too that we'll talk about. 18 pounds, man.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. 18 pounds in just 30 days. And by any means, I was not trying to lose weight at all. It was just kind of like, nice experiment to do with friends and see if we could really do this incredibly restrictive diet. But that's the results I got from it. As far as weight loss goes, during the whole program, you will see your, body, size just decrease. Your clothes will fit better. You'll look at yourself in the mirror. Your face will look thinner, at least mine did.
Yeah. And we actually... I invited Omar down to the boot camp, and he was like, I think 2 weeks in, right?
2 weeks in.
Yeah, so it was 2 weeks into the Whole30, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 8 or 10 pounds in?
Yep, 8 or 10, yep.
Okay, so, and, lean guy, strong. His energy was through the roof during the whole workout. We'll talk a little bit more about exactly that a little bit later. We're going to move. So weight loss, if you've experienced that on the Whole30, chime in right now. Let us know. We'd love to hear about some of your weight loss experience on the Whole30. And now we're going to get into reason number 2 that you should check out the Whole30 diet. And that is fat loss. Now, what's the difference between weight loss and fat loss? So weight loss, you can lose weight and not lose inches. You can be what we call skinny fat. So you're not toned, you're not seeing any difference in your waist size, body composition is not changing. You're seeing the scale change with weight loss, but that weight loss has to do with water, fat, and you're losing muscle. And so fat loss is really, it's a more challenging thing, but that's what we go after, and that's one of our specialties at the boot camp. And you have to understand that certain diets can help with fat loss, and then you need the resistance training, high intensity training elements to bolster that and to really see the toning as you're shedding those pounds. So Omar, you touched on this. You said that your clothes are fitting different. Not only did you lose the weight, but your pant size went down. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as fat loss goes, at the end of the program, you're just completely shredded because of, how the program works. It's extremely high protein, basically 0 carbs, tons of fruits and
Well, but
veggies.
is that true? I mean, it's not zero carb. I mean, it's naturally lower carb because you're not taking in a ton of calories, which it's not calorie restrictive necessarily. But you are eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and those things have carbohydrates. So I got to say, you are eating carbohydrates, just not eating like the starchy, no added sugar, no grains.
Right, absolutely. Not any of the other
Like Snickers bars.
Exactly. None of that. None of the processed stuff. You can actually during the Whole30 diet, you can have potatoes. You can have red potatoes, which was probably my go-to thing every time I needed something.
Right. Yeah, and so tell us, not necessarily as far as the science goes, because you're absolutely right. I mean, all of us would do better maintaining a lower body fat percentage if we can scale back on the sugars and starches and overall total carbohydrates at the end of the day. But your actual results experience with the fat loss, what things did you notice and find?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I feel like, well, like I said before, my clothes are fitting differently. Just my body fat, like in my arms, around my belly, everything was just smaller. I could see my muscles. I could see my abdominal muscles. Everything is just completely shredded, and that's what I loved so much about the Whole30 diet.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So glad that you got some great results with that. And was this quick question though? Was this your first time trying the Whole30 diet challenge, or have you tried it before?
This was my first time trying the Whole30 diet,
Gotcha.
so it was definitely difficult, but worth it.
Cool. Yeah, and so let's get into. Thanks for sharing that, man. Let's get into the number 3 benefit of the Whole30, and that is energy. I mean, energy levels, especially if you're eating like crap before you go on this thing, you will notice energy increase, and that is in everyday life situations, but also, as Omar and I were talking with you earlier, during the workout. I mean, when he came to boot camp, that was the only time we actually worked together, but his energy was high, and at some points was probably cursing me out during the training session. But that's okay. Nobody likes the trainer during the workout. I mean, that's fine. But energy levels, tell us about that in your experience.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you saying that I had good energy throughout that workout, because I was completely fried, I tell you.
Yeah.
No, but definitely during the Whole30 diet, my energy and just my mood in general was better. During my regular workouts while I did CrossFit. Just eating a better diet throughout your whole day, eating a healthy, balanced breakfast, whether it be just eggs with avocado and just, some uncured bacon, that holds you through all the way to lunchtime. And just the way you fuel your body throughout your whole day, it just makes all the difference when you go into the gym to work out. Also during, for example, like your 10 o'clock break, if you have it at work or something, you won't feel like crap, like you won't feel tired. You won't feel like you need a snack. I mean, of course, your body's slowly adjusting to the changes and the diet itself. But you won't feel like you need that sugar rush to keep you going. So that's definitely something I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and that you might notice that if you do the 30-day, the Whole30 challenge, you may notice that sooner or later. Some people, it doesn't take an effect until they're closer into their second, third, fourth week of that transition where your body's more utilizing body fat actually as fuel as opposed to being a sugar burner, because we're eating all this refined food during the day that our body has to get at that first before it can really tap into our fat storage cells. And that's some of the science behind eating a lower carbohydrate, low starch, no sugar diet. And so look, those were the top 3 benefits. We're going to get into 3 reasons why you may completely fail on this Whole30 challenge. So first of all, if you're new to the Whole30, the thing is, it's 30 days like nonstop. If you cheat at all, you're done. You're off the Whole30. You have to completely reset. And that's actually the number one reason why you may fail, because of the restrictions and dietary restrictions, but also if you have like one little morsel cheat, you're done. Whole30's over. You got to restart. Omar, what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you accidentally fell into a box of donuts, you had to completely restart your diet. Yeah, so that's probably one of the things that was the hardest for me, just how restrictive the diet is. I mean, I don't know
for you, because we spoke earlier, one thing was, I mean, your Instagram name is Snickers and Chippers, so you like some of those sweeter treats. But also, you know, if anybody is used to having, you know, an adult libation, like a cocktail or a wine, you know, that's not approved. 0 alcohol. So that could be another part of the restriction that maybe for you, not for you, Omar. Well, actually it was a big part of the challenge of this 30 days was no drinking whatsoever.
Right, absolutely. No drinking at all.
And that has a lot to do with those 3 benefits we talked about, guys, because you're scaling back. If you're having a cocktail every night, or on the weekends you're having more than one, you know, depending on how much you're intaking, that right there alone is costing you a lot of extra calories that you don't even think about, and they're not doing you any good. In fact, they're doing you harm. And so energy levels, weight loss, and fat loss will all be affected by those things. And so cutting that out alone will really is great, and you'll notice those benefits. And that's one of the keys to the Whole30. I think that's really great. It's real food based, and we're cutting out a lot of stuff. And so, but we're cutting out a lot. So what else are we cutting out? Because it's restricted. We know that. So alcohol's out, grains are out, processed food, 0 sugar, 0 grains, no dairy. So if any of those are kind of just ringing a bell right now and you're thinking, I'm never going to be able to do that, then maybe the Whole30 is not for you. And that's totally fine. Like there's other things other diet plans that may be helpful to you, and maybe the Whole30 is too restrictive for you. Another reason why you might fail, and it's going to be a challenge for you, is the cost. So that's number 2, is the reason you might fail is because of the cost. There's upfront cost to buying cleaner, wholesome food. But my theory is pay now or pay later, you guys. Omar, how did you know, some of the costs? Tell us about what you experienced as far as cost-wise on the Whole30.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like due to the nature of the program, you have to eat, like you said, extremely whole products, you know, so real food. And on your usual Trader Joe's or Whole Foods run or something like that, you know, your grocery bill might be a little higher than normal, just because you have to go to the fresh produce section maybe once or twice a week to stock up on your veggies and stuff like that. So it's definitely way more.
Totally agree. And just as far as that note, a great point is as far as cost, things cost us in different ways, you guys. So there's monetary cost. There's also our time, which is the most precious thing that we all have, right? And so not only are we talking about the cost financially, but let's also talk about your time. Your time, you cannot ever get that time back. So what you do with your time is your life. And so you know, are you going to need to meal prep on this diet? Well, actually, it'll be helpful unless you want to buy all of your stuff pre-made by a chef or, you know, a paleo, you know, approved website and things like that. And you can do that, but then your cost will skyrocket. So you really should learn how to cook some basic things. What were some staples that you had as far as food, just real quick, like maybe 4 or 5 for meals?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah. Well, meal prepping was essential. So grilled chicken, those, all of the vegetables that you could possibly get your hands on. Just make a vegetable medley of some kind. Roasted potatoes, definitely, and just fruits, as much fruits as you possibly can have.
Interesting. So those are some great staples. And the third reason why you may fail on the Whole30 challenge and not make it through the Whole30, and why it may not be right for you, is the social interactive drawbacks to eating in such a way. So, you know, it may be one of those things where if you're used to going to a bar like after work, like every day, that's your habit that you have every day. And that's going to be a really hard thing. If you're going to okay, so you could still go to the bar, you're not drinking, so you have a, you know, water or a seltzer, but you're not going to be drinking alcohol on this thing. So that may be too difficult of a scenario for you to be in. You might just say, I can't go to the bar, you know, this week, or tell your friends like, hey guys, I'm just not feeling going to the bar because, or the club, or whatever you like to do. Maybe it's a fancy restaurant. You just can't go out as much because you want to get that really nice wine that you're used to. So the social aspect, is nothing wrong with sharing your life and time with your loved ones and friends while eating, but in certain social circumstances, it may be really challenging to stay focused on the Whole30. Omar, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every single place you go to, even if you don't want to drink, you just want to order something off, you know, the menu. Everything has canola oil or something that you know you can't have on the diet. So just being social in general, as far as that goes, it's extremely difficult. So, but one or two tips that the website does, you know, encourages: have people over your place, make a complete Whole30 meal, and there's your social life.
Sure, that's a great point. And so this video is not sponsored at all by the Whole30, but it is, you know, we do believe in it, and it could be a good thing for you if it's helpful to your weight loss and fat loss fitness goals. But their website is whole30.com, and we'll have that in the link description below. But you can go there and learn a lot more details that we're not covering specifically in this, or if we missed it, you know, go to their website. They have like a ton of resources. Ultimately, yeah, they want you to buy their book and their plans and all this stuff, but they have a lot of free resources that you guys can just grab onto that they're giving away there. And I was talking about drinking before as one as far as the social thing, but Omar, you're absolutely right. That's a great point. Like drinking, food, you know, it's just in those settings, are you going to be able to stay clean? And that's a great tip. Bring in the gang over, get the squad to your place and host a, you know, clean eating, you know, fun just night or day or weekend, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and right now, if you guys are live on the live broadcast, we just want to thank you for joining us. This is one of the first times we've actually done like an interview. This is the first time we've done an interview setting. And so if you have any questions on this, for some reason, we're not able to see the questions, but if you have them after this video, we will go through and answer as many of them as we can, absolutely. And this is going to be posted to our Max's Best Bootcamp YouTube channel, and it's going to live there. So if you've had some experiences on the Whole30, good or bad or indifferent, share those below, because we want this to be like an interactive community, especially down in the comments. That's where you can connect with other people that are maybe just like you and they had a, you know, similar problem with it, or they had killer results like Omar, like down 18 pounds. And so great stuff happening in the comments. So be sure, if you have any questions, we'll address them there. One thing, Omar, maybe you can fill us in on this. What happens after the 30 days? Like you're past the 30 days. So this is like a bonus part of the video right now. If you're still watching, we appreciate you. And so the 30 days over, like, you know, it's your last day and you're like, I made it. And then like, what happens mentally and actually happens like day 31?
Yeah, no, definitely. For me, it felt like I was graduating like college or high school or something. Like it was the last day. I just could not wait for just mentally, it's kind of liberating, but at the same time, you're like, man, I've come this far on this Whole30 diet. Like it completely changed my life. Do I really want to give it all up? You know? So as far as as far as what I did, I tried to just maintain my Whole30 schedule during the week as much as I possibly could. And then on the weekends, you kind of indulge a little bit and just, you know, do your thing with friends and family and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely like changing. You question yourself every time you go to eat something, because you know what's behind it and the ingredients that are in it and stuff like that, and you know how that made you feel before the Whole30. So you kind of question it, but I mean, of course, you got to be normal again.
Yeah, so, and so what you're saying is it's not sustainable for you to continue that rigid schedule exactly. But what you found is that you could do it mostly during the week, and then, you know, you picked your night or so on the weekend and, you know, deviated.
Absolutely. Yeah. For me, it's definitely not sustainable. I mean, my page on Instagram is all about, you know, food, lifestyle, and just fitness in general, and also being balanced. So that's the message I portray. So, and if you go to my Instagram and see me, you know, eating donuts or like at a restaurant eating crazy dinners, then I don't want you to be like, oh, well, he did the Whole30, you know, what happened? No, but I definitely go for the more balanced lifestyle.
Yeah, and you know what? We're all different, and what balance means to each of us is different. And so, Omar, commend you on finding, at least right now, what's working for you. I mean, you know, if you experience some extreme weight loss on your first Whole30, if you make it through the Whole30, and you experience some weight loss, especially like Omar did, dramatic, will it all stay off? It could, but chances are, because you're going to be reintroducing, even if you did the exact same thing, but you reintroduce some of these additional foods, you will be taking in more calories. And, you know, as far as weight loss, it's a simple numbers game there. And so you may put on some weight back. And I think for me, that's my biggest challenge with, not me personally, but with my clients, what the biggest challenge of just being on a diet means. And that means, like, okay, I'm on the diet now, but like, I have no balance. And, you know, I can do this for like a week, a month, 2 months, but not sustainable. And then weight loss, the weight loss all gone, fat loss comes right, you know, all the fat comes back on, and even then some. So I think that's the biggest challenge. If you don't find what works best for you, you're going to be constantly in this cycle of trying the newest diets and things like that. So would just recommend that if you think some of these points are great and worth trying, then give it a go. It's no big deal. If you mess up, like, start over, no problem. But you may love it, and you may not, and so you have to try things out. The only time we actually fail is when we stop trying. So anyway, on that note, I want to thank our viewers, and I want to thank especially Omar. Brother, thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope this, you know, video helps a few people try to get on the Whole30 bandwagon and see how they like it.
For sure, man, for sure. And so, you know, Max's Best Bootcamp, we're on Instagram too. If you guys aren't following us, it's at Max's Best _. And then if you want to check out Omar, definitely check him out. Give him a follow. Great guy. And I see him doing big things on Instagram. So get in on his account now before he just blows up and he can't even respond to all these comments and stuff. And so that's at Snickers and Chippers. Anyway, you guys, if you have any more questions, post them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, guys.